So now I'm going to share with you some of the books that I found when I was down at Ace, and some of them are absolutely lovely. So let's do that. It's going to require a bit of shuffling because it's quite a lot. And there's another bag down the bottom, but here we go. So I didn't just get random books, I actually picked these. This is the first time in, that it isn't a box of books that have been packed by somebody else and just put onto a pallet. This is books I've actually gone and chosen out of like a masses of books that were there. So this one is Children of the Rising, The Untold Story of the Young Lives Lost During Easter 1916 by Jo Duffy. I am fascinated by Irish history because obviously my mother's Irish, and so for me it's part of my own heritage. I'm just as fascinated by Irish history as I am by Jamaican history. There is so many parallels between the two. It's actually, feels like they are two lots of the same people, and there are good reasons for that, because an awful lot of Irish people ended up on Jamaica, so an awful lot of the Jamaican patois language has roots in Irish, and it's all of that. But it's just fascinating that the two cultures fit together so well. Even when you go to Jamaica and people who are Irish go there and speak in an Irish tone, Jamaicans understand them perfectly, so that's lovely. Okay, so next one, Patrick Pearse, The Triumph of Failure by Ruth Dudley Edwards, another book about Ireland. Keep Their Names Evergreen, the 2nd Tipperary Brigade, IRA, Roll of Honour 1920 to 1923. So whoever had these books was clearly Irish, and had some interest in Irish history and the IRA, the Orange Order, all of those things. Supreme Sacrifice, the story of Eamon Kent. It might be Keant, I'm not sure. 1881 to 1916 by William Henry. It's a paperback. Interesting. Oh, it's got a lovely bookmark inside it, A Morning Prayer. I always like to look through just to see what's in these books, because sometimes people leave things behind and I like to preserve them. So 1916, The Mornings After, From the Court Martial to the Tribunals by Tim Pat Coogan. This one was clearly owned by a lady called Maura Freeman. Her name is in it. Maybe she owned all of these books, don't know. The Cambridge Guide to English Literature. This is kind of like a dictionary of literature. So anything you're looking up about books from, back in the day, before the modern era, James Joyce, all of that sort of thing is probably in here. Lovely books, in very good condition. Whoever owned these books loved books, clearly loved books. A Coward If I Return, A Hero If I Fail, Stories of Irishmen in World War I by Neil Richardson. Right, let me just quickly read the back, if I can find some glasses to read it with, because I can't read that. Illustrated with over 150 photographs and memorabilia, A Coward If I Return, A Hero If I Fail, Stories of Irishmen in World War I is a remarkable collection of veteran stories gathered from soldiers' families, military records, diaries, documents and letters. It shows how significant the Irish involvement in the First World War truly was. From 1914 to 1918, 200,000 Irishmen from all parts of Ireland, from all social, religious and political backgrounds went to war. At least 35,000 never came home. Irishmen served everywhere, in Belgium, at Ypres, in France on the Somme, and in Gallipoli, Palestine and Mesopotamia, now Iraq. An Irishman fired the first British army shot of the war. An Irishman won the first Victoria Cross. Irish flying aces were celebrated as aerial heroes. The war also united Irishmen. At Messines Ridge, the soldiers of the North and South won a victory together. On Friesenberg Ridge, they were slaughtered side by side. It is time now to honour and acknowledge all those Irishmen who went to war. Their lives should never be forgotten. I agree with that last line. We have so much to learn from history, so much to learn from the sacrifices that the people before us made on our behalf, and so much to be grateful for and to thank them for. And I don't think we do that enough. And I also don't think that if they are in heaven or wherever looking down at us, that they'll be particularly proud or feel good that their lives went to what they thought was a noble cause, to see how we're wasting them now. We're not living up to the potential or the sacrifice. We're just not living up to it. We're making the same mistakes again, in the same places again. Right, what else have I got here? So, Tim Pat Coogan, again, the IRA paperback version. Hilary Mantel's The Mirror and the Light. I've read this lovely book. Just fascinating. It's one of those books that you kind of can't put down, because it's historical, but it's also kind of got the mystery involved in it as well, and you never really know where it's going. Even though you know the history, it's just such a good historical fiction retelling of the events of Henry VIII's court. So great book, well worth a read. Look, that'll keep you entertained on the beach for a while, wouldn't it? Another Irish book. So this one's The Great Hunger, Ireland, 1845 to 1849 by Cecil Woodham Smith. This is quite an old book, but it is in amazing condition for its age. Oh, it's got something in it. What's this? Somebody was obviously doing some family history and some research on their own family tree, and they've left the notes inside this book. It looks like they've traced their family back as far as France. So they were obviously in Ireland, but Castle Otway. The house was built in stone up against the ruins of Cloghane Castle, 2 stories, 7 bay frontage, middle 3 pedimented tower. A house was attached at the rear based on the ruins of the castle keep. The castle and surrounding land was granted to John Otway in 1685. Henry Otway came to own the castle 1768 to 1815. He married Sarah Cave of Stamford Hall, Leicestershire. After Henry's death, Sarah and her son Robert adopted the surname Otway Cave. Robert died young with no children, and his cousin Jocelyn Otway inherited the castle. On Jocelyn's death in 1884, it passed to his Galway-born son-in-law William Clifford Birmingham Ruthven, who adopted the surname Otway Ruthven. The Otway harp, 16th century, is now the property of Trinity College. Wow, that's fascinating. And then there's a list of the property that they owned, how much acreage they had. 8,373 acres in Castle Otway, Lissenhall, and 4,362 acres in Tipperary. That's fascinating. I have no idea about my own Irish family heritage. I've done a bit of research on the Jamaican side, but I've done none on the Irish, and I really must. I'm fascinated and I want to know. Right, so this one is The Native Forests, Trees and Forests of Ireland. It says inside, I thought this was a real Mummy Manor book. Big, huge love, Tracy. Christmas 2002. Wow, that book is ancient, but well, it's not ancient, but it's beautifully kept. Absolutely lovely. and it has something inside. It says, message of thanks. It's the best little school I know. I keep telling everyone so. I'll spread the gospel much better than rock school, the very best little school I know. A great school is only as good as its head, and this one by Coach Dempster is led. She also relies on a brilliant team. This may shift and change but remains the same. In that teaching quality is always the key. The care of the children is tops, you see. Methinks when I first came to visit the school, suss it out and check, was it really that cool? Mrs. D was telling it just how it is, and I was thinking, this is really the biz. Just at that moment, a knock on the door, and in walked a pupil upon Mrs. D's floor. Well, instantly Mrs. D's countenance shifted. Her eyes just twinkled and her face truly lifted. She knew the pupil, of course, by name, and all of the 100-odd children the same. I could tell by the way she dealt with the query. I wanted my boys taught by this cheery dearie. No, it wasn't the facts and the figures that sold me. 'Twas her passion for children that totally won me. And that permeates throughout the whole school, because staff here alike are noticeably cool. Take Mrs. Kirby, how young is she? I couldn't believe it when she told me. She knows where it's happening and where it's at. She'll always be there for a pat on the back. You'll find that she's fair and right and true. If you're misbehaving, then she's on to you. She has eyes in all the classrooms, all over the school. She knows if you're naughty or acting the fool. Of one thing I'm certain, she's queen of the shrewd. On children's behaviour, she's very much clued. But why does she have that glint in her eye? Being papped with the rugby squad, I have a spy. Oh, Mrs. Kirby, just don't get the lurgy. On you the school does rely. At the end of the day, when you're sipping your tea, news that you're part of the fixtures, you see, and your #1 fan is me. Now, Mrs. Freeman, I've much praise for you, instilled in my boys their P's and their Q's. They soak up your manner, your old-fashionedness. Their parents agreed, very much I confess. The way you teach tables and history too, how do you do it? I haven't a clue. But you have a gift, it's a wonderful thing. You simply make children's hearts leap, jump and sing. Listen, you three, and take this to heart. You all gave my boys the very best start. Thank you so much from the heart of my bottom. They've been taught by the best. Now nothing can stop them. Isn't that lovely? That is absolutely lovely. It isn't signed, there's no name, so I don't know who wrote it, but whoever did, I bet those teachers were so chuffed when they heard that. Right, next. The Age of Impressionists by Dennis Thomas. Ooh, nice book. Great for somebody studying art history, that's for certain. Oh, was that something in there? Oh, wow. Somebody's used it to press some dried flowers. See, books aren't just books. Books are history. Books are moments. Books give you so much and they ask so little of us. All they want really is to be read and to give their knowledge. Yeah, that probably sounds like I'm a bit mad, doesn't it? But I am mad about books. Right, I'm just gonna take some of these off the table because I've got no room left to show you anymore. So, 1 second. Ugh. I'm back. Right, next. So this is a paperback. I picked this up because I've actually read it. I was a real Jean Plaidy fan when I was a child. I literally read every book that she wrote. It gave me a real passion for history. She specifically wrote an awful lot about Tudor history, but yeah, so The Widows of Windsor. So that's that one. So this one is about Victorian Windsor. Palmerston, then Gladstone, then Disraeli govern her. So this is about the Queen Victoria's time. So that is, can't remember if I've read this one. I might have to actually take this one home and read it myself, because still love Jean Plaidy. Don't think I'm ever going to stop loving Jean Plaidy's work. Right, so Martina Cole, The Family. Really good condition. Very well looked after. Excellent. A novel, Ireland, by Frank Delaney. What's this one? One evening in 1951, an itinerant storyteller, the last of a fabled breed, arrives unannounced and mysterious at a house in the Irish countryside. By the winter fireside, he begins to tell the story of this extraordinary land. One of his listeners, a 9-year-old boy, grows so entranced by the storytelling that when the old man leaves, he devotes his life to finding him again. It is a search that uncovers both passions and mysteries in his own life as well as the storyteller's, and their solving becomes the thrilling climax to this tale. But the life of this boy is more than just his story. It is also the telling of a people, the narrative of a nation, the history of Ireland in all its drama, intrigue and heroism. Ireland travels through the centuries by way of story after story, from the savage grip of the Ice Age to the green and troubled land of tourist brochures and news headlines. Along the way, we meet foolish kings and innocent monks, god heroes and great works of art, shrewd Norman raiders and strong tribal leaders, poets, politicians and lovers. Each illuminates the magic of Ireland, each and the eternal connection of its people to the land. A novel of huge ambition, beautifully told, Ireland is the unstoppably readable story of a remarkable nation, from the epic sweep of its telling to the precision of its characters, great and small, tragic and comic. It rings with the truth of a writer passionate about his country. So it is a novel. It is a novel, but it's also concentrates an awful lot on the historical elements. Yeah, that looks like a good book. Right, so what else have we got here? Now, this book is The Citizen King by T.E.B. Howarth. It's the life of Louis Philippe. The book itself is in good condition, but it is showing its age. But it is a history book. So it isn't a novel, it is a history book, and it is a historical retelling. But in very good condition. Has an envelope in it that's got nothing in it. The New Oxford Book of English Verse by Helen Gardner. Oh, now I love poetry. Couldn't write it to save my life. I mean, I can write you a dirty limerick, that's about it. I sing of a maiden. I sing of a maiden that is makeless, king of all kings to her sons she chests. He came also still, there his mother was, as dew in April that falleth on the grass. He came also still to his mother's bower, as dew in April that falleth on the flower. He came so still where there his mother lay, as dew in April that falleth on the spray. Mother and maiden was never none but she. Well may such a lady goddess mother be. There's some beautiful verses in here. I could read this all day. Probably would. I probably would. What else have we got? James Oswald, Cold as the Grave, novel, thriller. And then Henning Mankell's The Troubled Man. Now, I picked this up because I've had this book before and I sold this book before. It's a brilliant book. If you are a sewer of any kind, or if you are wanting to learn, this book is one of the ways I learned to sew when I was teaching myself, because it taught me all of the embroidery stitches that I needed and so many other skills. So awesome book to have in your library if you are a sewer or a wannabe sewer. Okay, Low Cost Living, How to Live Well with Less Money, paperback. Jerry Adams, An Irish Journal. Now, I know that there's an awful lot of detractors for Mr. Adams, and I'm one of them. Not a fan of his, but I thought the book might be interesting to someone, especially someone who's interested in Irish history. Then we've got the National Trust Book of British Castles. Books in the dust jacket is a bit ropey, I'd say, but the book itself is in lovely condition. Oh, there's some bits inside. Lawned is a bookmark, lovely bookmark in there. Lawned Abbey, A Short History and Guide. I think this is from this person's continued investigations into their family tree and their history, because it's got a ton of notes in it. And this one's also got some more dried flowers in it, which I'm going to have to remove because they're a bit messy. This must have been when they were looking into the history of the castle that I was reading the notes about. Must have been one of the books they were using to find out. This is The Best of James Herriot. Favourite memories of a country vet, enhanced with drawings and photographs to create a permanent record of Herriot country. Oh, that is a lovely book. Really lovely. Very nice. Put these out of the way. I'm going to have to take pictures of all of these. That's going to be a few hours work. Probably not going to get that done today because I've got to get back to Mum. Kitchen Library of Potatoes. So a book of potato recipes like this. It's got the spiral bind, which I always find really useful when I'm trying to use a recipe, because you can just lie it flat on a book stand and away you go. I always find that the pages close on me on a regular book whilst I'm trying to read the recipe, which is really unhelpful. Michael Healy Ray, Time to Talk. Stories from the Heart of Ireland. So this one is, I had a quick look at it and it is a fantastic book. Right, what else have I got here? Oh yes, another book. Well, I've got another bag actually, a whole bag of books. So, we've got Marie Antoinette by Antonia Fraser. The German Girl. Who's that by? Armando Lucas Correa. Che Guevara by Andrew Sinclair. Not very big biography, but now this one is, I picked it up because I thought I might have a quick look at it myself, because it is a dual lingo book of English and Gaelic. So my mother doesn't remember any of her Gaelic, but I thought it might be interesting to actually have a little read of that myself and see what the translation is side by side. I'm not going to be able to pick up any of it because I'm not very good at sounding out Gaelic in my own head, so that's not really going to be helpful. But I do like the way the letters are on the page. That probably sounds weird, doesn't it? But I just love writing. I love the text. It makes me happy. Don't judge me. So this one is Fear of the Collar by Patrick Tuher, My Extraordinary Childhood of the Artane Industrial School. This one I picked up and I felt like stabbing it because I never could stand this woman. She took away our milk when I was a kid. Not that I liked milk, mind you, but she still took it away, which felt like a bad thing when you're a kid. Margaret Thatcher, The Downing Street Years. I'm not sure if I should sell that or set fire to it ritually in the garden. Oh, let me put that in the bag. I think I might go with setting fire to it ritually in the garden. Yeah. Right, last pile, I promise. Okay. Tom Barry, IRA Freedom Fighter by Mida Ryan. Alice Taylor, Do You Remember? From the best-selling author of The School Through the Fields. This one, childhood. Alice Taylor remembers her childhood home, the farm with all its tools and animals, and the farmhouse with its equipment for living in daily challenges and constant hard work, but its comforts too. Another Antonia Fraser book, Love and Louis the 15th or 14th. XIV is 14th. The Woman in the Life of the Sun King. And there was a lot of them. Another one of my favourite authors, The Last Tudor by Philippa Gregory. Love her books. I actually might keep this one and read it because I don't think I have read that one. Rosemary Hawley Jarman, The Crown in Candlelight. The Magna Book of Monet. Now, Monet is one of my favourite artists. There is just something about his work that really speaks to me. In fact, this picture on the back, I have embroidered that in cross stitch. It is the picture that I embroidered after I lost my son, and it helped me embroidering it because it gave my hands something to do and my mind something to do that just wasn't too taxing. It didn't require me to talk to anybody, and I could just be at peace for a little while. So I actually have this picture on my wall as an embroidered one with the date of Nathan, and just it says, "Rest in the garden, beloved." So that picture alone means a lot to me. The Sonnets, William Shakespeare. Love the Sonnets. I think I might end up keeping this book because I absolutely love the Sonnets, and it's really nice to have a book where they're all together. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be getting rid of books, I'm supposed to be downsizing, I'm supposed to be building the pot for Jamaica, but yeah, I'm not doing a very good job with that, am I? Another Magna book, Van Gogh, another one of the artists that I really love. Not as much as Monet, I will say, but there are some of his pictures that I really do love, especially the irises. I love irises, so that one, yeah. A Mother's Love, Upon Angel's Wings. Dear angel, are you with me now? Yes, dear child, and in every moment of your day. Is my mam content, and is she happy? She is in her heavenly home in joyful splendour. Tell her I send my love. She receives it with utmost joy. Are you my guardian angel? Guardian most pure. I think this book must have meant something to someone. A great deal. A great deal. Classic Irish short stories. It is in English. Irish Women's Letters. A People Starved. Life and Death in West Clare, 1845 to 1851. Again, this is about the Great Famine. An awful lot of people died. Millions died at that time, and millions left Ireland. That is literally how America and Australia got populated, to be honest with you. Peg. So this one is in Gaelic. So this story is in Gaelic, so that will be definitely going up on the site, and hopefully somebody who's fascinated by the Gaelic language and loves Gaelic will pick that up. I don't know what this is. All right, okay, this is Gaelic poetry. This is Gaelic poetry. It is such a beautiful language. I mean, look at the text, the flow of it, the shapes of the letters. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful language. I really wish I could speak it. Another book about Gerry Adams, Hope and History. And Vietnam, The 10,000 Day War by Michael McClear. Very good condition, totally complete. Very small text though, very small text. That would give me a headache trying to read that. So that's most of the books that I picked up when I was down at Ace Recycling last week, and I had a wonderful time down there. I can definitely see myself going down there a lot, but it's going to be a very dangerous thing because I'm going to end up buying an awful lot of books. And I need to sell more books rather than buy more books. So, when I was in the charity shop the other day, I saw these on the shelf and I just thought, I don't know what they were. I have no idea. I haven't comped them, but I just saw them and I thought, I've got to have them. Not for me. They are going to be sold, but I thought I've got to pick them up. I really wish that I had known about these when my boys were younger, because I would have bought these for my boys. They were mad Harry Potter fans and they read every single book. As soon as it came out, I had to go out and buy 2 copies of every single book on the day that they came out, just so that they could have them, and they read them from cover to cover, and so did I. And it was a case of, we got to talk about them together, and it was part of their childhood that I really enjoyed, was reading these stories with them. So I picked these up. I would have bought these for them then. So illustrated versions of the Harry Potter books. So this one's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I mean, the illustrations are just stunning inside. Yep. And then I've got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And again, beautiful condition. And then finally, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So, I left the receipts inside. That was clever. That was so I didn't lose them. But yeah. The illustrations are just gorgeous. So I will be putting those up on my eBay store probably, and we'll see how they do. But yeah, really chuffed with those, really chuffed with those. All right, okay, I'm just going to put these books away, and then I'm going to bring you something else that I'm going to show you that somebody gave me. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you today is these. Now, I was given these. I have no idea what they are. I have no idea where they'd come from, and I have no idea how much they're worth. So I am going to have to do an awful lot of research, and that's fine. I like research. Research is fun because you learn a lot, and there's nothing better than learning something new. So what's inside these little boxes? They're all sculptures. They're all apparently handmade and hand-painted, or what's the word? Poured, because I think they're porcelain, but they seem to be all hand-painted. They all seem to by the be Scottish, French or British uniforms, but they're these. They're all different. I haven't seen 2 that are alike. I'm not going to show you them all because there's a whole box of them, a whole heap. So you know what I'm going to do is I think I might put these all on the turntable and just let them turn around and do a video of just them turning, because I think that might be quite fun. Well, it'll be fun for me. I think this one's French. I mean, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know, because I am really interested in knowing about these. I don't know if they're made of resin. I don't know if they are porcelain. There's nothing on the boxes that is giving me any indications, hence the need to do the research part of things, because I think that I need to know. This one, oh wow, they were clearly someone's collection, but it looks like they have literally lived in their boxes. And I think that they are absolutely fabulous. I just wish I knew more about them than I do. The person who gave them to me said that they'd been in a storage unit, and who had the storage unit just left them. Not bad box. So I think I'm literally going to have a session where I just put them on a turntable and do a little video of the whole lot of them, one at a time. Oh wow. But whoever had them clearly loved them, because they've been protected, they've been kept in their boxes, and thoroughly protected the whole time. But there's just so many of them. It's like a whole collection of them. And they're all protected by polystyrene. Oh. And bags. So yeah, I'm going to have to do some research. And good thing Lisa likes research. Anyway, I am going to have to get a shufti on and go and take some quick photos so that I've got some reference stuff to work with, and then get my bum home to mum. Hope you've enjoyed this. It's been a bit mishy-mashy, but yeah, some fascinating stuff today. Really fascinating stuff. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.